Welcome to our Monday night live Cellercise program. I hope everybody's enjoying your Cellerciser. I expect, people ask me all the time, when's the best time to do it? And I think first thing in the morning, because that is the wake-up call. It's that movement up and down that stimulates everything, circulation, vestibular balance, it massages, it warms up thyroid, adrenals, endocrine system. It prepares the body, it opens up the circulatory system, it activates the lymphatic system. All that's so vitally important, and when you get started on the day, you want to enjoy a happy, healthy day. So we see people joining us, and thank you for being here and for sharing our program with other people. We want to make a difference, and we are making a difference, and I want to share some of those differences with you. So Christine, let's take a look at some of the welcome.
Okay.
Let's take a look at some
Should we
of
just
those
make sure that the sound is working? We've got a new device that's broadcasting us tonight. If you can hear us, please give us a thumbs up. And we'd love. Oh, the volume is low. Let's see. That's what we were worried about.
All right. Let's see if I can.
Okay. Let's see if we can increase that. I think we should. Okay. Is that any better?
Hopefully.
We're just gonna hopefully see. Do we need to bring these up a little bit closer to us? Can you hear us?
Do I need to just talk a lot louder? Is that working better? Does everybody hear that better?
Okay, we're going to just keep going and we'll kind of watch those coming in. Hi, Ricky. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Vitor. Hi, Catherine, for joining us tonight. It's wonderful to see everybody with us. Okay, we do have some testimonials tonight. I'm going to go ahead and pass these over to you. And we'll start with this one.
These are inspirational. I want you to know if you're experiencing results on the Cellerciser, feel free to share them. We share them with other people, and it does truly make a difference. Unfortunately, you're not able to hear all the phone calls we have during the course of the week, but we have quite a few. And I want to say thank you for those who share, and I want you to know that your sharing is helping to inspire other people. Okay, this starts off, wow, with an exclamation point. I'm happy to report that worked. Oh, the inflammation that I've been carrying around in my shoulders from stress is gone in less than a week. I really studied that live special and committed to the health bounce and gentle stretching. I did it several times throughout the day for about 10 minutes each time, just trying to work those toxins out of my shoulders. After the first night, I noticed my left shoulder was no longer tense nor tender to the touch. It took several more days for my right shoulder to catch up and also become pain-free. I lay down to sleep at night now and notice that I am no longer tensing my muscles up to compensate for the pain, and I don't feel a throbbing in my shoulder blades anymore. What is funny is I used to race through the health bounce in order to get the real workout. I am now purposely health bouncing and stretching every day now, morning and night. I can see how important it is. Thank you so much, not only for creating and selling such a great product, but for backing it up with your knowledge and experience for others to have and enjoy. That's what it's all about. We all have a greater health potential, and our objective is to help you to reach yours. And what inspired that, do we have that section?
Yeah, we do. What inspired that was she had reached out to you. Let me grab that.
Yeah, I heard this part of it first, and I thought it'd be good to share this too. I've just started Cellercising and would like to specifically target and reduce the inflammation and swelling I feel around my shoulders and neck from stress. Is there anything I should specifically do to address this? I feel the tightness every day and can feel the inflammation and pain from it. While it is not debilitating, I know that I do not want my body holding on to these toxins. How can I help my body reduce this blocked areas of my shoulders and neck? And that's when we shared some of the stretching movements that we've done on the program. And it's important because inflammation, especially over a prolonged period of time, can cause all kinds of conditions and problems within the body. One of the key benefits of Cellercise is as we move up and down, we move fluid and circulation up and down. We break up the toxins and the poisons and the heavy metals, but we also increase circulation, which can help reduce inflammation. All right, Daniel. I have recently committed to Cellercising every day for at least 30 to 60 minutes for 1 year. So far, I've done 99 of 100 days and am feeling really good and have been pain-free since I started. I've had chronic back pain in my lower back since I was 15, now 47. I've figured out through trial and error with the right supplements, eating regimen, and now with the Cellerciser every day, I feel 100%. Thank you, Dave. And again, movement up and down, the actual spinal column as well as the vertebral joints are bereft without circulation, and so they start to shrink, and our back becomes compromised, and we lose circulation, we lose flexibility, we lose space between the vertebral joints, we have more pressure on the nerves. So these stretching movements that I demonstrate to help, and the gentle rocking movements are designed to help feed that circulation back to those discs to reduce the pressure and increase circulation and flexibility so we can promote better health. So I'm glad, thank you for sharing that. I know, I've been there too.
Okay, are we ready for the questions that we received?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. I think you say 10 minutes a day of bouncing is a good place to start. Do they have to be all at once, or can I do 2 5-minute sessions? I used to bounce 30 minutes a day, but I'm recuperating, and so now I just do 10 minutes a day after doing nothing for months. Thanks for any advice.
Okay, 10 minutes is a long time, especially to begin. Most people can't and shouldn't, unless you're in pretty good health, and you're still going to more than likely feel it. Keep in mind, with traditional exercise, if I lift weight away from gravity, I limit the effect to that particular muscle doing the lifting. If I increase that weight on that muscle by 20, 30, or 40%, it's still limited to this one muscle. When you Cellercise, it's not weight lifting, it's weight bearing. And so that increase of weight is not just on one muscle. It's on every single muscle in your entire body collectively over 100 times a minute. And we know that your cells don't care where the increase of weight comes from, whether you're lifting it or whether you're increasing the weight of gravity, which is virtually what Cellercise does through the G forces and the acceleration, deceleration, especially at the bottom of the bounce. So, but it's without jarring. So you're not jarring the body, but the weight-bearing activity is being applied everywhere. So if you have weaknesses in the body and you start off with 10 minutes, can you imagine doing 100 of these per minute for 10 solid minutes, and now you're doing it to every single muscle, everywhere throughout the entire body? Most people need to start off gently, allow internal organs and connective tissues and the fascia, all those areas of the body that generally most exercises don't really even deal with, to firm up, to tighten and tone. We have no limited effect, but we want to allow that effect to strengthen the connective tissue surrounding the brain, the internal organs of the body, the abdominal area, the pelvic region for women, and somebody trying to call. All right, so 10 minutes, 2 minutes, several times a day is a great way to start because it's constantly sending the message to the cells to adapt without tearing them down, to build them up. That's another advantage of Cellercise. You can do it every day, several times a day. But starting off, we have a user guide on our website, www.cellercise.com/user guide. One word. If you go to that and you look at the last page, it gives a recommendation on how to begin the first, second, third, and fourth week as we build up our capacity to do more intense exercise movement. So yeah, I'm glad for that comment earlier about taking time to warm up. That's really important.
Okay, so it seems like we're still having some volume problems. Can you hear me better than you can hear Dave? And if that's the case, we're going to swap mics. Okay. And just see if that's the case. It looks like it's more than just one person having problems. So why don't we go ahead and just straight out. I don't know if mine is better or not, because we don't want them to. Okay. All right, you talk and let's see if you're better.
Okay, we'll see if this is any better. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so we're both low.
All right.
Volume low on both. I don't know. We could stop it and start live again. Otherwise, we're just going to have to get through. And I apologize to everybody for that. That problem that we've got here. This should have been working, and I apologize. Maybe we'll just get closer to the screen, if that's okay, at least for this part.
They can lip read.
Right. Okay, does this detox your body of heavy metals?
Visualize this. You got a jar of water with a bunch of dirt clods in it, and you're walking it around all day long. It's our normal day-to-day activity, right? We go to sleep at night, we get up in the morning, and we walk around some more. Now, all of a sudden, we take that jar of water and those dirt clods, and we start to do this. Well, we're going to start to break up the dirt clods. As we move up and down, the pressure changes occurring within the body are helping to take the fat cells, which have a tendency to accumulate heavy metals, toxins, and poisons, pesticides, herbicides, formaldehydes, etc. And all of a sudden, these cells, instead of just walking around like this, they're doing this. And so they can start to release those heavy metals and toxins, which is why it's important to drink a lot of good water. There are other products that people advocate, like zeolite, where you can start to release those heavy metals. Take the zeolite, for example, and help attach and pull those heavy metals out of the body. Working with, can't remember the term right now, but doctors and health practitioners that work to detox your body, they will often give you various different supplements to help or assist. You take those supplements and then you Cellercise, and it simply makes those supplements and the activity of those supplements much more effective. And we've talked about that like the washing machine. If you throw in the dirty clothes into the washer and you turn on the water, but you forget to put in the soap, and you don't turn on the agitator, those clothes aren't going to get very clean. So when you throw in the clothes and you throw in the soap or your digestive aid or a good detox supplement, and then you turn on the agitator, that's the Cellerciser, you can understand how effective that's going to be.
All righty.
Drink lots of water.
Thank you. Any suggestions on how to strengthen fingers? Arthritis is setting in and they are becoming stiff.
Yeah, let me show you. All right. So we get on the Cellerciser and we put our fingertips straight down. We start to move up and down, holding the fingertips straight down until you can feel some pressure at the tips of your fingers. The moment you can feel the throbbing or pressure at the tips of your finger, you're activating the lymph system and you're activating increased circulation. So at that point is when we want to start moving the fingers. As we move the fingers with the lymphatic system pumping, it's pulling circulation through the bones, joints, and other tissue spaces of the body. So we want that movement up and down because it activates millions of one-way valves in the lymphatic system, which pulls that circulation. And then we do the movements. It accentuates the ability of the body to pull that circulation between the bones and joints. I read just a couple weeks ago about one of our customers who called us up who's been on a saxophone, or he's played the saxophone for 40 years. And he has noticed that since Cellercising, his dexterity has improved significantly. He's very excited about seeing more of the long-term results, and I look forward to hearing more from him. But he's on tour right now in Europe.
Okay.
That's good.
All righty. I have a horrible crick in my neck. I'm on day 4 trying to get the knot out. I've done my normal workout, including the shoulder stretches. However, I'm still having a hard time turning my head to the left because of the tightness. Anything else you might recommend?
Yeah, if you've strained it, if the nerves have been threatened some, the muscles have a tendency to tighten up. Movement up and down just like this, very gentle, creates a gentle massaging effect. Then taking your fingers and massaging those muscles around the neck, kind of help pushing it up and into those vertebral joints. You can tilt your head slightly to one direction, massaging as you're doing it. Tilt it to the other direction while you massage and do those movements. Turning your head one direction, gently massaging and bouncing up and down, taking your hand, helping to pull that head just gently, don't overdo it. So bouncing up and down a little bit. You can do the same thing this way. If you're in pain, don't. Just do the gentle movements. If it's inflamed, you don't want to irritate the nerve further because the muscles will have a tendency to continue to tighten up to protect the nerve. But if it's inflamed and you're doing the movement and it's healing, then you're going to expedite that healing process and help reduce that inflammation. It can make it feel better much faster. And then you do the same thing here, and you kind of pull your head down this direction and then over to the side. And eventually you start to really open up that area. We talked more about that on a previous YouTube video too that's posted, so you have access to that.
Okay. I'm so frustrated. I've been bouncing 4.5 months every day for 20 minutes and absolutely no toning of the stomach muscles. I eat a really clean diet too. I hear so many others talk about the toning up that they experience. Any suggestions, or would sit bouncing be better? Thanks, Dave.
Great. It's a good question, and we get that often. First of all, it's not the amount of time doing a Cellerciser that really is going to make the difference as much as it is how the body is challenged within the amount of time. It's more the intensity rather than it is the actual length of time. Nothing wrong with bouncing up and down for 20 minutes. It's wonderful. You're opening up circulation and getting rid of heavy metals, toxins, inflammation, improving body parts, functions. All that can help, and that's a good thing. But if you want to increase the intensity and you really want to target the stomach area, as you're doing the Cellerciser, instead of just jogging in place, for example, let me grab that. Instead of just jogging in place, jog in place and gently tilt backwards. As you gently tilt backwards, all these muscles, they tighten up hard. And as you're bouncing and running in place, you have an isometric while you're running. I promise you, if you do 20 minutes of that, well, don't, but that's a lot. But if you do repetitions of it, that's going to target from the inside out, that whole stomach wall. And yes, you can do the sit and bounce as well. I prefer doing it like this because the muscles are longer. Kicking your legs out leverages more weight in that area of the body too. Sitting down, although it works, it's very effective. It works a smaller range of muscles in a shorter area, which makes tighter muscles. And you know, they might stick out a little bit more, and some people like that. I prefer to stand up, lean back. It's longer muscles. They're still very toned, but I believe they're more flexible. So.
All right. We're still having sound issues, everybody. I apologize for that.
Huh.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's the connection here.
Okay. Okay. I'm liking the Mr. Rebounder app, but was wondering if the app is on my iPad, why do I have to sign in every time to start my routine? Seems like it should be able to remember me.
Don't you hate that? It's happened to me too. I was on the phone today talking and getting a dedicated exclusive server specifically to our account so that hopefully by tomorrow that's not going to be an issue anymore. They said that there were so many people getting on that the API, and this is a lot of computer language, but the API between the WordPress or the WooCommerce, WordPress, between the WordPress and the actual server it was taking too long. And so as a result of that, it couldn't verify people and it kicked them out, having to force us to have to enter all the information again. Bottom line, let's see if tomorrow if that's still an issue. There's other people that have had the app working just fine, and some have had the app crashing. They'll be working on a routine and all of a sudden it crashes and they've got to start all over. That's no fun either. So hopefully by going with a dedicated server now, and sometime during this week, it should be remedied and it will be easier and funner to use. We're still doing the $29.95 special, the pre-launch special, because we don't have enough of the bugs completely remedied yet. We're getting better all the time. And as a result of that, there's so many people who have been supporting us, and we really appreciate it while we're going through the growing process. And I thought, well, no, we're not going to raise the price until after we know that we've got a product that people can feel confident about. So it's still available.
Okay. Now this is going to have a 2-tag question to it. So let me get through both of them and then we'll go back.
All right.
Okay. I've considered bodybuilding, then I ran across the Cellerciser. My question is, can you bodybuild with the Cellerciser? Then someone tagged onto that and said, would an existing weightlifter lose gains? I know he is not supposed to do any cardio, but I was thinking the health bounce would help strengthen his arches and his joints since he is doing about 600-pound squats.
Okay, if you go to our website and you take a look at some of the testimonials, we've got a section, I don't know if it was bodybuilding or athletic performance, but there's a gentleman there. His name is, when he was performing, it was Wade McNutt. It's Wade Lightheart now, but Wade was and has been a bodybuilder. He's taken phenomenal care of his body. And when he was doing his bodybuilding, he incorporated Cellercise with it and was absolutely amazed at how fast he was able to get to a competition level incorporating Cellercise with the weightlifting. He didn't have the downtime, he didn't have all the buildup or of the lactic acid, and there's reasons for all that. In fact, they did a study, Dr. Larry Getman, PhD at Seattle, Washington National Aerobics Institute, where they showed that if you incorporated the rebounding in between a circuit weight training program, so you do your circuit of weights in one station, then you do 20 to 30 seconds of Cellercising, and then you do your next circuit, that they grew, this is incredible, they grew in results up to 26% faster than somebody who just did weightlifting. And you stop to think about that. Well, with Cellercise, the movement up and down flushes out the dead cells because you're tearing down to build up. It helps reduce the inflammation. It increases oxygen, blood flow, and circulation to that tissue much faster. And when you Cellercise, and we know this through this strength and balance test, you're stronger for your next set than you would have been otherwise. So you could lift more weight. So in short, in answer to the question, you can incorporate Cellercise within a weight training program. But weight training is a sport more than it deals with health and fitness. It can make you stronger, but it can compromise the integrity of a muscle as well. Keep in mind that as you're weightlifting, you're tearing down, building up, tearing down. So as you tear the cell tissue, the body has to repair it. They tell you to do it every other day because the body literally has to heal itself, literally. So you've torn it, it's in a weakened condition. It has to patch the tear. It patches the tear with more proteins, and then you tear the tear and it patches the patch, and so on and so forth until we get these bigger, bulkier muscles. But there's a trade-off. And when you take it to extremes, you lose timing, speed, coordination, flexibility, and you can compromise ligaments and tendons. Cellercise doesn't perform like that. It's different. Nothing wrong with that sport, but that's more of a sport. Cellercise is more for health and fitness. When you're moving up and down, you can do it every day, several times a day. You can still build strong arms and strong everything all over the body because it's weight bearing. More like a dog or a cat's muscle. They don't go out there and pump iron weights or do the kind of programs you see on TV. They're strong, they're flexible, they're quick. With Cellercise, you will build strong, flexible, and quick muscles, which can help in your performance in any athletic activity. And we've done that many times where we've taken athletes and we've improved their overall results by incorporating certain and specific movements on the Cellerciser. Whether it's basketball, whether it's tennis, whether it's baseball, whether it's golf, we've improved the performance. In fact, Bob Cisco, he's a friend of mine. He's down in Florida. I don't know if he's been online. He was going to try to make it. But Bob Cisco has written a beautiful book, and it was all about balance and how to improve a golfer's performance. And I've worked with celebrity golf tournaments and with professionals in the Cellerciser. And he called me up one day and said, hey, he understood the dynamics of what Cellercise can do. And we're going to do a podcast. In fact, Christine, you're going to help us with that, I hope. But we're going to do a podcast for golfers to show them some of the techniques they can do on a Cellerciser to improve their balance, strength, and actual swing. It's very important. It's a secret weapon for athletes all over the country and different parts of the world. And if you are an athlete and you want to improve your performance, give me a call. I'll see again, remember, Cellercise doesn't just work on muscles. It's working on the fascia. Those are connective tissues throughout the entire body. And when we can help you become strong in an altered position, well, that's going to give you a competitive advantage because the people you are up against are not strong in that altered position.
Okay.
So,
has anyone with cerebral palsy used the Cellerciser, and what were the results if they did?
we have had people with cerebral palsy use the Cellerciser. I don't know the results. We haven't had any feedback that I'm aware of with people that have Cellerciser and had cerebral palsy. What I can tell you that is it stimulates brain activity, the nervous system, circulation. The body doesn't know the difference. We have people in wheelchairs that have gotten out of wheelchairs with multiple sclerosis. So I'd like to know more about that. I know the lymph system is really critical for so many different ailments that we've had today. And when that gets clogged up and the nervous system is compromised, we experience a lot of various different conditions. And the moving up and down on a Cellerciser helps to pump the lymph and the circulation, reduce swelling, and promote healing and health. But I don't have specifics on that. So if you experience something or you've experienced something, we'd love to have a written or testimonial. You can even videotape it now. That's great. Thank you. Thanks,
okay.
Christine.
Does Cellercising help with hearing loss in the inner ear due to a virus?
You know, so we've had people that have had that experience. Not a lot of them, but enough to know that vestibular balance can be affected. There's crystals in the ear. The stirrup, the smallest bone of the ear, the movement up and down is constantly moving fluid past it to help improve vestibular balance, as well as challenging proprioceptors and brain and nervous system. So movement up and down is going to definitely move fluid up and down as you're doing it. That increase of fluid and increase of movement generally can release inflammation, increase circulation, and promote the healing process.
Okay.
All right, Christine.
So those are all the questions that we've got for today. And if there were any other ones posted prior to about 5:15, we'll catch those and have you get on and answer those.
Okay.
Well, let's
Great.
talk about home-based businesses.
We're going to do that. And I want to let you know, Christine is going to edit this when we're done. And if there's any way we can turn the volume up, we'll turn the volume up.
I'll do my very best to increase the sound on here. I apologize. We'll go back to our old ways. We knew it was working. We were hoping this display would be better, but apparently it wasn't. So, okay.
I had a couple videotapes right here. Let's grab those.
Let me grab those for you.
Okay. I want to share an idea with you. We've had people that work as affiliates with us now. They have websites and they have joined our affiliate program and it's growing, and we appreciate their support, and we're a growing business and we're growing right along with our affiliates, and that's great. We also have distributorship programs, which are a little different, and people buy in larger quantities, and we make those available as well. But we have another program that has been really helpful to a lot of people as far as supplementing their income at home. And I wanted to take a moment and just share some ideas with you. If it works, great, and if not, that's right, you might know somebody who could benefit from it. But what we've done is we've created these two videos. They're the same video, just packaged differently. Cellercise the Ultimate Exercise. In Cellercise the Ultimate Exercise, we explain what Cellercise is, why it works, shows you how to use it, shows you what I do in my 10-minute a day routine, and then it has a personal trainer drop-down menu that lists over 20 different techniques specific to what a person might want to accomplish, whether it's weight loss, knee problems, hip problems, back problems, digestion, elimination problems, stress disorders, opening up the bronchial tubes in the lungs, lymphatic pump or circulation, and the list goes on and on. What we have had a number of people successfully do is they'll have a home party or a business party, and they'll invite a few people over to their home to watch the presentation part of the DVD. They'll have their Cellerciser out, but they'll have something on top of the Cellerciser so nobody can use it. And what they'll do is they'll watch the presentation part of the DVD. Once they're done watching it, the people watching it will have been educated. Again, they've seen what it is, why it works, how to use it, and what people have achieved, as well as my 10-minute a day routine. After they've seen it and they're educated, now you want them to personally experience it. So then you remove what's on the Cellerciser and have them come up on top of the Cellerciser and start to gently bounce up and down and feel their muscles, and the trapezius muscles, feel their deltoids or shoulder muscles for a few minutes. You know, feel each one of them while they're gently bouncing up and down. Have them feel their biceps. It's all weight bearing. Have them feel the stomach muscles as they are expanding and contracting. So all these muscles are working, and let them know that they're not limiting the effect. The movement up and down is on both sides of the skeletal and muscular system. So if the hips are out of alignment a little bit, but they're gently bouncing up and down, hips tend to drop, muscles tend to move. So you want them to be on there for a few minutes to really enjoy the benefits. When they're done, have them step down. Now I forgot a very important part. So we may re-edit this a little bit. When they're done watching it, have them stand up, each one of them, and first thing is you want to do the strength and balance test. Have them stick their elbows kind of out in front and then pull them in, so they're right about this position. Put their thumbs next to each other so you don't hurt their thumbs. And then while they're taking a horse stance, you're going to push down on their hands and see if they stay balanced and strong, or if they fall over, which 99% of them are going to do. They're going to fall over, or they're going to extend their rear end back a little bit so they can change their center of balance depending on how competitive they are. But irrespective, they're not going to be very balanced and strong or be able to utilize their balance and strength very effectively at all. Then you have them all do that. Then you have them get on the Cellerciser, as I shared, and I'll say it again so we may edit out that first part. Then you have them gently bounce up and down, grab the deltoids, or the trapezius muscles, grab the deltoids, feel them flexing, grab the biceps, have them stay on it for a few minutes, then have them step down, take the same position, and do the strength and balance test again. When you're done, you ask, are there any questions? They will have been educated. They will have seen how it works. They'll understand more about why it works. They will have personally experienced it. They're going to look at you and they're going to say, how do we get one? And then at that point you say, well, you work directly, you are part of the Cellercise family. You work directly with us. And as a result of that, you can get them the Cellercise kit and program with the upgraded DVD, the $40 DVD, at no additional cost by taking an order from them. So we don't want them going online and finding it somewhere else. So we have you let them know that they'll get that upgraded $40 DVD at no additional cost. And then you take the orders. Once you have the orders, then you can call us up. And depending on how many orders you have taken, determines what kind of discount you're going to receive. Now, if you're selling a trifold Cellerciser and you only sell a few of them, you make, once you've got a Cellerciser, you make $50 off of each Cellerciser. Well, if you've got several people there in your home watching this, hey, you're helping people and you're also being rewarded for helping them. If you sell a half-full Cellerciser, you get a $40 referral fee. And what's interesting is how we've watched these events grow. People will have a home party, and when they're done, they'll ask, do you know anybody that has knee problems, or hip problems, or back problems, or shoulder problems, or digestion elimination issues, or weight loss issues, or circulation issues, or sleep disorders, or headaches? And you don't need to make any claims. We know what Cellercise has done for a great many people. But what you can ask them, or let them know, is that, hey, we're going to do this again in a week or 2 weeks from now. And we'd like you to invite those people you know that might benefit to come and listen. And what we've found is often happen is a group of 5 people grow into 10 people, and the next couple of weeks or a week after that, it grows into 20 people. And we had one lady who could no longer do it in her office, and so she had to rent an outside amphitheater area to watch the DVD and to help all the people. And that was a growing business. We have another lady in Las Vegas who did the same thing, and it helps. It helps when you need a little additional income. But the better part of it is that now you're personally involved. And if you're having an event and you call me up and I'm available, I'd like to know ahead of time, but if I'm available, I'm happy to get on the line with you and answer questions and help share the program with them as well. So literally, we take it from being me doing what I do to it being us collectively, as much as possible, doing what we can do to make a difference. And some of you might like that and some might not, but I wanted to share that as an opportunity tonight and say thank you again, because just writing a testimonial or a customer review is what we call it, has helped. And you are helping and you're making a difference. And there's so much we can do on a Cellerciser. And if you have any questions at all, we're here 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, Mountain Standard Time. And we're happy to answer your questions or talk to your trainers or health practitioners or whatever we can do to help. Cellercise, you don't have to work out when you can play in. So thank you again, and we look forward to answering your questions. Christine, are there any now that?
I didn't see any. Let me see. I think it's just.
Apologize for the sound. We'll work on that again for next week. We tried an upgraded device, actually. It was the iPad Pro 10S, I think they call it. And its sound system we thought would be better, but unfortunately it doesn't seem to be.
Okay, so it looks like we did get a question on here.
Okay.
Is it normal to get cramps in your feet? I'm very overweight and out of shape, so guessing this is why. Working on my balance by Cellercising, and then we also had a question about plantar fasciitis. What's the best thing for that? So.
Yeah, well, we've had some great testimonies, and we've read some of them about plantar fasciitis, and what it has done to help. You know, one gentleman was carrying around a ball in his pocket all the time for years because he had to use it to help his condition, and he doesn't anymore. The movement on the Cellerciser over time helps to loosen up muscles and ligaments because it allows the foot to move, not pronate, but move to support your natural alignment and balance. And as far as the cramping in the foot, it could be a number of reasons. Circulation, could be weaknesses, could be things that are moving in your body. One of the advantages of Cellercise over typical aerobic impact sports is that you don't have the impact or the jarring, but you do have movement. And so as you're doing more movement over time, you're helping to increase the circulation, the flexibility, and bones and muscles and ligaments can actually start to move if you're barefoot. If you're wearing shoes, it can be painful because shoes are restrictive and when you're Cellercising, your foot wants to move to support your alignment, not the alignment of the shoe. But when you're barefoot and you're doing these different movements, the foot can start to move and become more flexible over time.
Okay.
That's good.
I just had one more. Not that I'm really anxious about talking about myself, but they wanted to know
good.
how I was doing.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm doing really good, actually. Yeah. These past 2 weeks have been better. May was a hard month for me. I think that traveling was really hard on me. It took a toll on me way more than I thought it would. And it just stopped everything. So it took a little bit to get past that plateau and get going again. I have tried the sitting on the Cellerciser and holding onto the bar.
Yeah.
And if you haven't tried that, try it.
Yeah,
that
good.
Hurts.
Yeah.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
So if you hang on the bar and I can go about a minute and a half, makes my arms burn. So it's helping my bat wings. And it is actually flattening out my core more than it ever has in the past. So then I've been doing the lean back like you have suggested as well. Okay. I've noticed a drop in my weight this past week. My husband's like, wow. And I'm like, clothes I've been wanting to wear, I can get back in, or things I have been wearing are a lot looser, which I like. And so
that's good.
I've been thrilled. I've been thrilled with how the past 2 weeks have gone. I've been a lot more aware of what I've been putting in my mouth. I've reached out to our Sarah Grant on here because she has been doing the intermittent fasting, and just kind of asked her what really has worked better in that. I've read up on it, and she gave me a little bit of guidance in there, and I've really liked that, what she gave me as well. But I would eat all day long if I could, but that allows me to kind of keep my eating within a certain realm. And she starts hers off with a salad, like you have said, that big salad full of vitamins and nutrients and live foods. And so that advice that you've given has been really beneficial. And so I felt much better over the past 2 weeks. We went up to the canyons this weekend, and I think I kept up with my kids better than they thought I would. And so it was great fun, but I'm doing really good and enjoying it, and actually doing way more at night. I used to just do it where I could kind of relax. Now I'm actually fitting in another 10-minute routine at night and enjoying it even more. So.
Awesome. That's great. And keep in mind, for weight loss, don't eat your big meal late at night. Sometimes we do, but try not to be in the habit of eating your biggest meal just before you go to bed, because you're going to store calories. Thanks, Christine. Thank you all. Thanks for being a part.